Good afternoon, I'm Vashon Brown with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Mia Amor Motley has been sworn in as Prime Minister of Barbados following the Barbados Labour Party's historic victory in yesterday's general election. Ms. Motley, who is 52 years old, is the first woman to hold the post of Prime Minister of Barbados. She was sworn in at Government House.
Mia Amor Motley, being appointed Prime Minister, do swear that I will, to the best of my judgment, at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the Governor-General or any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Barbados. And I do further swear that I will not on any account at any time whatsoever disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or parliamentary secretary.
The Barbados Labour Party won all 30 seats in the House of Assembly. Ms. Motley indicated that an immediate priority would be the appointment of a cabinet by Monday. It is the first election in post-independence Barbados with a clean sweep of seats by a single political party. Ms. Motley joins the ranks of former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Portia Simpson Miller, Dame Eugenia Charles of Dominica, Kamala Prasad Bisesa of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as Janet Jagan of Guyana as female heads of government of the region. And Ms. Motley, in her victory speech delivered approximately 3 a.m. Jamaica time, says this is no time for gloating and a time for the rebuilding of Barbados.
We have to reverse the rapid decline in our foreign reserves as a matter of urgency as we go forward to pay foreign debt this month. And we have to deal with our debt. Against this background, we shall release today the IMF Article 4 report so that Barbadians may see an independent assessment of where we truly are.
She also says that the social partnership within the country needs to be revitalized.
We cannot do this without bringing the labor unions and the private sector and the NGOs and the churches to the table. And while the central governance of our nation will be occupying the attention of the main social partnership, we have committed to a committee of social justice.
And the People's National Party President, Dr. Peter Phillips, said the Prime Minister-designate's landslide victory signals the desire of the people of Barbados for change, renewed hope, the reinvigoration of CARICOM, and a strong collective Caribbean voice in the global community. Dr. Phillips says the BLP's return to power marks a move towards people-centered governance, which is always a welcomed development that benefits all. On to other news now. The future of bauxite processor Windalco is looking more grim following a meeting between the company's management and the union representing workers. Despite a stay of U.S. sanctions against Windalco's parent company, Russian aluminium producer UC Rusal, Windalco is struggling as international financial institutions shy away from doing business with it. The company was unable to pay the full salaries of employees this month. President of the Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees, Vincent Morrison, says a meeting with management yesterday provided no hope for a solution.
Is that the company is being starved of financial flows, which means that all their operations in Jamaica, that is the bauxite and aluminum operations that you have done, Port Esquivel, Swallingburg, Kirkvine, along with their dairy farming activities, are severely hampered financially.
Mr. Morrison says members of Windalco's management team have no clue how the workers will be paid beyond this month.
In fact, what the company has said to us is that they are trying hard to see if they can pay the rest of the salaries that is owing for the month of May. But as for the salary due to the workers in June, they don't know where it's coming from.
A St. Thomas woman is barely picking up the pieces after a massive fire on Monday. The woman, who occupied the house with her son and grandson, is now homeless. She is also making an appeal for help. TVJ's Shamela Mitchell reports.
On Monday, a raging fire. On Friday, 4 days later, debris from the fire. The entire area looks abandoned, like no one had occupied the premises. Michelle Brown, who was living in the house at the time with her son and grandson, is barely picking up the pieces. There is uncertainty about rebuilding, as Miss Brown says she does not know where to begin.
If right now, I'm a night to me, one night I get a one skirt for my back. But I have nothing more, everything flame up.
The owner of the house, Beverly Duffer, says she rented the house to Miss Brown, and now with the fire, she has lost her only means of income.
We get news that the house is on fire. And right now we need back a house because this is a little saving for me. Because we have to pay taxes and whatever and learn to slay the house and everything gone.
Miss Brown is appealing for help.
All of my things burn up. I need back a house.
Meanwhile, the St. Thomas Fire Station told TVJ News that the investigation into the fire is now complete. However, the firefighters say they are still unable to determine a cause. The house was not insured. It is estimated to have valued $8 million. Shamela Mitchell, TVJ News.
Despite work being carried out on the Santa Cruz bypass in St. Elizabeth to alleviate flooding, one resident is concerned that the effort by the National Works Agency is not enough. The resident told our news center that the situation would only get worse.
We have a problem here because we have a tunnel mouth around us, so the tunnel mouth small, it can't contain the amount of water around the New River Road. We want to change and turn a bridge. We want a bridge around there.
He notes that when debris comes from down in the water, it blocks the tunnel mouth, hence flooding occurs.
Kill a hole of my chicken and rice, but all my knee height, all past my knee height around my yard. When the water coming up back, because the water can't go to the tunnel mouth fast enough. So we want to run us to adjust. We talk to Mr. Redman about it. Mr. Redman said, and him responds to it. So we want to know who responds to this work. Because we want this work to carry around us, because the water kill around. We go around and we want the water lie down around right now.
He says he's now worried with the hurricane season in sight. And speaking of the hurricane season, the first tropical system of the 2018 season has formed in the Caribbean. Alberta, which formed this morning, is expected to dump heavy rain on the Yucatan Peninsula, western Cuba, Florida, and the northeastern Gulf Coast this weekend. Tropical storm watches have been issued in Mexico and Cuba. At 10 o'clock, subtropical storm Alberto was moving toward the north-northeast near 9 kilometers per hour. Maximum sustained winds are near 65 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Gradual strengthening is forecast for the next 72 hours. The Met Service says due to the tropical storm, Jamaica is likely to get increased rainfall this weekend. It says the country should expect periods of showers and thunderstorms, which may be heavy at times across sections of most parishes from Saturday through to Monday. Residents along Tower Street in downtown Kingston are calling for the National Water Commission, NWC, to fix a broken pipe which has been overflowing in the community. They pointed out that the pipe has been creating misery in the area for days, despite several calls to the agency.
The truck come dig up the road from Sunday. And when them are going, the place, the something burst. I'm call them and show them, say the water a leak right or so. And the man say, I'll come back tomorrow, come fix it. No, them not come, and the wickedness and the water, yes.
So the water run of the paper, them throw in it and rub it. It must go to the draining. So the apex of the drain are black. After a time, it are black if it not fixed. Mosquito and all them something there.
To make matters worse, residents pointed out that there has been a water shortage in Tower Street and surrounding areas for weeks.
Last day people walk up and we pay a pan and bucket and I walk and look water and so much are we, yes.
So when they can't get no water, what them have to do? Where them have to go get water?
To other people, yeah, that have water where them can get liquor from. So right now my niece gone in down there, so I look somewhere to be at.
And it's time now for Fact or Fiction feature. Fact or Fiction, Jamaica's first area code was 809. Well, you can find out the answer at the end of the sports segment of the Midday News. And it's time now for news overseas. The pressure on European nations is reaching a boiling point, with the United States demanding Iran negotiate its missile program as part of any new nuke deal. Details from the CNN.
It's an important meeting here in Vienna as the countries that are still committed to the nuclear agreement are set to meet to try and hammer out a way for that agreement to remain in place. Now, the Iranians are saying, essentially, they're demanding from the Europeans that they want to maintain all the benefits of the nuclear agreement even after the United States has pulled out. That means sanctions relief for Iran. That means the possibility of international investment in Iran, and especially for Iran to be able to sell its oil on international markets. Now, the European countries, and they're very important in all this, they said they are still committed to the JCPOA, the nuclear agreement. But the big question is going to be, are they going to be able to follow through and offer Iran what it wants without risking the wrath of the United States, specifically, of course, the Trump administration. Now, we know that specialists are working on all of these details. The Iranians are saying they understand all of this is very difficult, and a senior Iranian official who I spoke to said he's not confident that the deal can remain alive. He says that right now it's an agreement on life support, but nevertheless, all sides are trying to make it happen. The Iranians are saying if the deal does fall apart, if Iran pulls out of the nuclear agreement, if the agreement falls apart, then Iran is capable of amping up its nuclear program again, and they also say that they might have to rethink their nuclear doctrine. Fred Pleitgen, Vienna, Austria.
And the sports news now. Former Premier League campaigners Barbican FC and Brownstone FC will square off in the CASAFA Super League final on Friday at the Constant Spring Playfield. The winner will earn the right to represent CASAFA in the Red Stripe Premier League playoffs. Barbican got to the final after a 2-0 win over Rockfort, while Brownstone got the better of Malines United 4-2 on penalties after a 2-2 scoreline in regular and extra time. The last time Barbican played in the RSPL was in the 2014-2015 season. Brownstone, which has never played top-flight football, will be playing in the Super League final for the first time in the last 4 years.
We're excited. We can't wait for the finals to begin, and we're putting our final touches in training today.
The momentum good enough, knowing that we play Malines, a very good team, and they bring different qualities. Right, we'd have to make adjustments. So it's the same adjustment we'd have to be making this time around against Barbican. So you want good, you have to compete against the best. And Barbican is one of the best teams in the competition.
The winner of the Super League final will square off against Wadada in the Premier League playoff on June 3. In the curtain raiser, Constant Spring will battle Mead Forest for the Major League trophy. Both teams have already secured their spot in the next season's Super League.
Well, you know, it's going to be a tough one. It's a final, you know. And the other team must be doing something good to reach here as a finalist, you know. So we're going into the game very positive, you know. As I'm going to tell my players, them go there and have fun, you know, enjoy the game and follow the system, and the rest will be history.
We know this game going to be a tough encounter. We have to just make sure we prepare for this game. So we have all the players them intact and ready for tomorrow game at 6:30.
And live coverage can be seen on TVJ Sports Network. Finally this afternoon, the answer to our Fact or Fiction feature. Fact or Fiction, we asked. Jamaica's first area code was 809. Well, it's a fact. From 1958 to about 1995, most of the British West Indies shared a single area code, 809, in the North American numbering plan. By the mid-1990s, with the proliferation of fax machines, mobile phones, computers and pagers in the region, the 809 area code was almost exhausted. Jamaica split from 809 area code in 1997 along with 7 other countries. Months after, the 876 area code was assigned in June 1996. The Dominican Republic is now the only Caribbean country that still uses the 809 area code. And that's the Midday News. I'm Vashon Brown. Join us at 7 for a primetime news package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, have a good afternoon and have a great weekend.